Howdy folks, welcome back to our channel. Today we're embarking on a journey into the intriguing world of prepping. We're going to strip away the misinformation and reveal the truth by debunking the top 15 myths that surround this practical approach to life. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more enlightening content. So, buckle up as we debunk the top 15 myths about prepping. First off, prepping isn't just for the paranoid. You see, there's a common misconception that preppers are constantly on edge, waiting for the world to fall apart. But that's not the whole picture. Prepping is about being ready for any emergency that could disrupt your day-to-day life. It's about having a plan for when the power goes out during a thunderstorm, or ensuring you have enough food and water if a natural disaster strikes and you're stuck at home. It's also about knowing how to keep yourself and your family safe in a crisis. You don't have to be paranoid to realize that emergencies happen, and it's better to be prepared than caught off guard. So let's toss out the idea that only the paranoid prep. In reality, it's about practicality and peace of mind, so it's not about paranoia, it's about preparedness. Now, who said you need a bunker to be prepared? Let's bust that myth right now. It's easy to picture preppers holed up in underground bunkers, kitted out with military-grade supplies. But the reality, it's far more accessible than that. Prepping is about being ready, and readiness starts at home. Think about it. Your living space, whether it's an apartment in the heart of the city or a suburban family house, is your first line of defense. It's your shelter, your sanctuary. And with the right strategies in place, it can be your fortress too. Urban and home-based prepping solutions are all about maximizing what you have. It's about clever storage for essential supplies, knowing your home's strengths and weaknesses, and having a plan for various scenarios. So, ditch the idea of needing a bunker to be prepared. Remember, it's not about the space, it's about the strategy. Think prepping is a costly affair? Think again. It's a popular misconception that prepping requires a mountain of cash. But that's just not the case. In reality, prepping can be as budget-friendly as you make it. You don't need to break the bank buying a year's worth of freeze-dried meals or a state-of-the-art water filtration system. Start small. Begin by setting aside a bit of extra food each time you shop. Opt for items with a long shelf life, like canned goods or dried pasta. Over time, you'll build up a decent stockpile without feeling the pinch. Water storage can be as simple as filling up recyclable containers, and a basic water purification tablet won't set you back too much. Remember, thrift stores and yard sales can be gold mines for inexpensive gear. And don't forget, knowledge and skills are free, yet invaluable for any prepper. Remember, effective prepping isn't about spending big bucks. And no, preppers aren't necessarily anti-government. This myth seems to stem from a misunderstanding of what prepping actually entails. Yes, some preppers may have their reservations about government efficiency in times of crisis, but this does not mean they are against the institution of government as a whole. Prepping is about taking personal responsibility for one's safety and well-being. It's about having a backup plan if public systems fail, not because of a disdain for those systems, but because of a realistic understanding that sometimes things go wrong. Preppers come from all walks of life, and their reasons for prepping are just as diverse. Some prep because they've experienced a natural disaster. Others prep to ensure they have resources during financial hardships. And yes, some prep due to political concerns. But to categorize all preppers as anti-government is a sweeping generalization that simply doesn't hold up under scrutiny. Prepping is about personal safety and readiness, not political statements. Contrary to popular belief, prepping isn't just for country folks. The hustle and bustle of city life can also lend itself to a prepper's lifestyle. Cities are rich in resources, from libraries and community centers to stores and public services. Think about it. A city library is a treasure trove of knowledge, offering books on everything from medicine to mechanics. Community centers often host classes on a variety of practical skills, like cooking, sewing, or woodworking. Stores provide access to supplies, and public services can be a lifeline in times of crisis. Urban prepping is all about leveraging these resources to your advantage. It's about finding creative solutions to storage issues, like utilizing every nook and cranny of your apartment. It's about building relationships with your neighbors, because a strong community can weather any storm. Prepping is about adapting to your environment, wherever that may be. You don't have to be a survivalist to appreciate the value of prepping. This statement may come as a surprise, but it's true. The notion that only hardcore survivalists are into prepping is a myth we need to debunk right here, right now. prepping isn't just for those who can navigate the wilderness with a compass and a knife, or for those who can build a shelter from scratch. It's for everyone. It's for the single mom who keeps an extra stash of canned goods in the pantry just in case. It's for the city dweller who keeps a small first aid kit in their bag, prepared for any minor mishaps. It's for the retiree who has an emergency savings fund set aside. Prepping is a mindset. It's a way of life that prioritizes preparedness, resilience, and foresight. It's about being equipped to handle life's curveballs, big or small. So remember, prepping is about being ready, no matter who you are. Food and water are important, but prepping is much more than that. Yes, these are the basic necessities, but let's dig a little deeper. Prepping is not just about stockpiling cans of beans and gallons of water. It's about being prepared for a multitude of scenarios, and that involves learning essential survival skills. For instance, can you start a fire without matches? Can you build a shelter from natural materials? Can you administer basic first aid? These are just as crucial as having food and water. Additionally, planning is a key aspect of prepping. This involves creating an emergency plan for your family, mapping out evacuation routes, and knowing how to communicate during a crisis. Prepping is a holistic approach. It's about equipping yourself with knowledge and skills, planning for various situations, and yes, ensuring you have food and water. But remember, it's the knowledge that turns these supplies into survival. Prepping is a holistic approach, not just stockpiling. Living off the grid can be great, but it's not a prepping requirement. Let's get this straight. Prepping isn't about running off to the wilderness and renouncing civilization. Sure, it's about self-reliance, but it doesn't mean you have to give up your Netflix subscription. Think of prepping as a complementary aspect of your life. It's about integrating skills and resources into your modern lifestyle, not replacing it. It's about having a backup plan when the power goes out, not about living without electricity forever. It's about knowing how to filter and store water if the tap runs dry, not about digging a well in your backyard. In essence, prepping is about enhancing your ability to navigate through life's unexpected twists, while still enjoying the conveniences of the 21st century. So you see, you can be a prepper while still living comfortably in the heart of the city or the quiet of the suburbs. Prepping is about enhancing your lifestyle, not abandoning it. Being self-sufficient is great, but it's not the end-all of prepping. You see, it's easy to get caught up in the idea of complete independence, imagining a life where you rely on no one but yourself. But let's be real. Humans are social creatures. We thrive in communities, not solitude. When we focus solely on self-sufficiency, we overlook the incredible power of cooperation and community. Think about it. In a crisis, wouldn't you fare better with a group of trusted allies than going at it alone? It's about pooling resources, sharing skills, and having each other's backs. Yes, self-reliance is an important part of prepping, but it's not the only part. Prepping is also about building a network of like-minded individuals who can help each other when the chips are down. So remember, prepping is about balance. It's about preparing yourself, but also about fostering connections. Prepping is as much about community as it is about self-reliance. Prepping isn't just for doomsday scenarios. Now that's a statement that may surprise some folks, but let's take a moment to really think about it. Prepping is about being prepared, right? And preparedness isn't exclusive to apocalyptic events. Imagine, for instance, a sudden job loss or a major health crisis. These personal calamities may not shake the world, but they sure can shake up your own. Having a safety net, whether that's a stash of savings, a pantry full of canned goods, or a skill set that can help you navigate hard times, that's prepping too. And what about natural disasters? Hurricanes, wildfires, earthquakes? They're not world-ending, but they can disrupt your life significantly. Prepping equips you to handle these less extreme yet still challenging events. So let's debunk this myth, shall we? Prepping isn't just for the end of the world. It's about being ready for any situation, big or small. Having supplies is important, but it's not everything. This statement might come as a surprise, especially considering how often we stress the importance of a well-stocked pantry or a comprehensive first aid kit. But here's the truth. Supplies can get you far, but they can't replace adaptability and mental preparedness. Imagine finding yourself in a crisis situation. You've got a backpack full of provisions, but the chaos around you is overwhelming. Can you think clearly? Can you make decisions under pressure? This is where mental preparedness steps in. It's about training your mind to stay calm and focused, to think on your feet when circumstances change rapidly. And let's talk about adaptability. It's about being resourceful, about finding solutions with what you have at hand. It's about learning to use your environment to your advantage. Remember, even the most extensive supply stash can't cover every possible scenario. So, while supplies are indeed crucial, they should be seen as part of a larger, more comprehensive approach to preparedness. Prepping is as much about mindset as it is about materials. Preppers are not just doomsday thinkers. This is a common misconception that we often hear. However, the truth couldn't be further from this. While it's true that some preppers do consider extreme scenarios, most are simply practical individuals who value preparedness and self-sufficiency. They're optimists at heart, believing in their ability to face challenges and adapt to changing circumstances. Prepping is about being proactive, not reactive. It's about considering possible scenarios and planning ahead to mitigate potential risks. It's about learning new skills, building resilience, and fostering a sense of community. So, contrary to the stereotype of the paranoid doomsday prepper, most preppers are just everyday people like you and me who choose to take an active role in their safety and survival. It's not about predicting the end of the world, but about being ready to face whatever life throws our way. Prepping is about optimism, resilience, and practicality. All preppers do not think alike. Just like no two people are the same, no two preppers think exactly alike either. The prepping community is a diverse bunch. Some are city dwellers preparing for power outages or natural disasters, while others are rural folks readying for long-term off-grid living. Some focus on self-reliance, others on community resilience. Some prep for possible job loss, others for pandemics. Prepping isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. It's tailored to individual needs, circumstances, and concerns. Preppers come from all walks of life, each bringing their unique perspective and skills to the table. They are doctors, teachers, artists, engineers, parents, students. The list goes on. The beauty of the prepping community lies in its diversity. It's a melting pot of ideas, strategies, and experiences. Each prepper's unique approach adds to the collective wisdom of the community, offering various ways to navigate and thrive in challenging situations. Prepping is a diverse field with diverse people. Prepping doesn't have to consume your life. This is a common misconception that we're going to debunk right now. Prepping, when done right, can be seamlessly integrated into your daily routines. It's not about turning every minute of your day into a survival drill. It's about making small, mindful changes that enhance your preparedness over time. Think about it as adding a dash of spice to a recipe. It doesn't overpower the dish, but rather enriches the flavors. Similarly, prepping is about enriching your life with skills and habits that can serve you well in an emergency. It could be as simple as keeping a first aid kit in your car, or learning basic wilderness survival skills on a camping trip. Remember, prepping isn't about living in fear or letting it dictate your every move. It's about being proactive and ready for whatever life may throw your way. So, let's bust this myth wide open. Prepping is a part of life, not a life-consuming obsession. You can't prepare for every disaster, but that's okay. Now, that might sound a bit counterintuitive, especially after we've spent the last few scenes discussing various aspects of prepping. But here's the thing. The world is unpredictable, and the range of potential disasters is vast. From natural calamities to personal crises, there's no playbook that covers every possible eventuality. However, instead of feeling overwhelmed, it's crucial to focus on what you can control. Building resilience and adaptability are key. These attributes will help you react to unexpected situations with calm and ingenuity. Remember, prepping is not about predicting the future or having a solution for every possible disaster. It's about reducing risk and enhancing your capacity to manage and recover from adverse situations. It's about the confidence you gain from knowing you've done your best to prepare for whatever may come. Prepping is about resilience and adaptability, not absolute certainty. So, there you have it, folks, the truth behind prepping. We've debunked 15 myths, shedding light on the practicality, affordability, and versatility of prepping. It's not just for the paranoid or anti-government, nor does it require a bunker or living in the countryside. Prepping is about readiness, resilience, and risk reduction, not predicting doomsdays. It's a diverse, balanced approach to life's unpredictable turns, not a life-consuming obsession. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Stay prepared, y'all.